In this video, we're going to talk about animation in ZBrush. In the previous videos, we saw how we can set up our render, so how we can create static images. So the animation is nothing but a sequence of static images which are going to give you the illusion of animation and movement. So we talked about how to set up materials and the HDRI, the background, the scenario, also how we can pose our characters to make them look a little bit more interesting and to have like more like drama to our renderings. So we also saw that we can use different types of color adjustments, color correction, and also filters that can help us to create like different effects, like more technical or more like cartoonish or manga. So we just play a little bit with the render presets here in ZBrush, creating different effects essentially. Now everything we do here in everything we did so far can be also uh, used as animation. Now not like the effects in this case, but you can like animate pose, you can animate uh, camera and the point of view. This is also pixel art effect, really cool to generate in ZBrush. So we're gonna move forward here. We're gonna talk about animation, and we're gonna see what we can use here to create animation in ZBrush. We have like a pretty good set of tools, but in my opinion, this is not like the best animation software out there. You can do something with a character, and just because you don't have like an entire scene like in other software or a level like in Unreal Engine, yeah, you cannot do like certain things. Now, if you want to do interaction, interactivity, interactive applications, virtual reality, and so on, you could check the Unreal Engine. If you want to do like standard animation of scene, of characters, lights, materials, and a lot of more, you can use Blender, which is open source, and also other software like 3D Studio Max or Cinema 4D or Maya. They are all good to create entire scenes using your characters that you created in ZBrush. Now, if you're interested instead in video effects or video editing, you should go to After Effects if you want to do video effects, or Premiere Pro if you want to do video editing. And again, these are just like examples. You have like other software out there that can help you to do video montage or video effects. And same thing goes for animation, 3D animation and interaction, and also about graphic design. So if you want to work for like to create illustrations or for a graphic design project, you can use Photoshop. You can use Illustrator if you want to do like vector graphics, and also here you have other options for like open source like Krita or like Inkscape. It's another one, and also GIMP. It's another open source. Or you have like websites like Canva or Pixlr that can help you to do like color correction, adjustments on the image, work with the alpha channel, and many more. And also GIMP, as I was telling you, is open source. Now, if you're interested in those, you can look for them in our channel. So look for the software that you're looking for. In our channel, you will probably find a video guide or a video course, or we will make it in the future. Now, some keywords here. Talking about animation, what are the most important things to know? The frame, which is the single image that then you place in a sequence to generate the animation. So let's say that to have 1 second of animation, you need like 25 frames, which are 25 images in the hand. So it means that if you need to do a rendering, a photorealistic rendering, you need 25 photorealistic renderings. So it's really heavy for your computer when you're gonna do like long animation. And then you have FPS or frame rate, which is frame per second, which is essentially how many frames you want to use in 1 second of animation. You can use 24, 25, 100, depending on what you choose. It's gonna be heavier or lighter. And then you have the keyframes. Now, keyframes are like the most important frames in your animation. So the ones that will define a movement or define a change of a situation, which could be like a color or changing of a light. So keyframes are really important. And then you have the timeline, of course, where you can see the frame rates, see the FPS, see the frame, and especially work with the keyframes. So usually in the timeline, you work with the keyframes, and then like automatically you will have the interpolation frames, which are like automatic frames that will generate in between the keyframes. So this is the beauty of using a computer instead of like going there and like create all the single in between frames. Well, that was like old-fashioned animation. So with cartoon, like from I don't know, the whole days, they used to work on each single frame. Now we are more lucky, and we can just work on the 2 keyframes, for example, and everything else would be taken care of from ZBrush or the software. Now I'm gonna open up here some samples again, just so we can work on the same um, project, and you can do the same thing. Now, the first thing you want to do probably is to open up the shelf, double click there on the 2 arrows on the left, open up the left shelf, and drag here the movie palette, the movie menu, which is the one which we will use to manage, define, setting up our animation. And also you can use the rendering, because again, animation, it's like a render, but it's animated, it's a sequence. You would probably also need document, because with document you can set up the output resolution and other stuff there. You can save, you can export. So you can see there, well, let's start with this, the resolution. Now, if you want to do like full HD, which is kind of the standard these days, but you can also do like 2K, 4K, whatever. You can type there the pixels. So that's the number of the width and the height in terms of pixels. So the higher will be, the better quality, of course, you will have. But well, also it's causing like some stretch in our current document. So what we're gonna do is just continue to draw. Now, if we continue to draw, we have like 2.5D drawings, and this is not what we want to do here. Just Control N, clean everything up, and create just one, and then go to edit mode. So you are actually in 3D, and we can then move around. Now, well, that's good enough for the output. So we know that we are producing like full HD movies. Now you can see that in the movie tab, you can save the movie, or you can open a previous movie file. In this case, this is ZMV, which is a ZBrush movie. So it means that I can edit that, continue to edit that. So you can either export, again, it's like saving a project or saving an image. So you can either export the movie in a movie format, or you can save it as a movie inside ZBrush. And you can see there you have some options. You can export the window or just the document, or you can make it large, medium, or small as a size. So I guess this is about compression and the quality. So let's keep it large. And then well, you have some like presets here, animations. So these are like easier to use up here, and then down there you have some modifiers, and here's where we find the FPS. So right now we are at 24 FPS. Now that's like the lowest, probably, to have a nice and fluid animation. So let's bring this like to 25, but you can also do like also 100 frame per second if you want to work with slow motion and things like that in Premiere Pro or After Effects. And down there we also have the timeline. So let's show the timeline using the show button. You can also load and save timelines. So this is another like option. So if you want to retrieve your work later, probably you want to save here your timeline of your movie. And we have also timeline magnification, or you can do automatic. Now we're gonna talk about timeline later. I just want to show you first the simplest things, and then move forward with something more complex, which are